Okay, in this video, we are going to be doing the same thing, doing addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, but now we are not going to have a variable to plug in. We are just simply going to be inputting x into each function. So really, we're not changing the functions. So for f plus g of h, we are going to, of x, not h, we're going to take our f function, which is 4 minus x squared, and we are going to add it to 3x plus 1. So that's our combination here of this function with addition. Now we have to look at what our domain is. And as we've said before, the part that is underneath our square root can't be negative. So we want to look at when is 4x plus squared, or 4x minus x squared greater than or equal to 0. And that is just going to be between -2 and +2. Any numbers outside of that range are going to give us a negative in the square root, which is not possible. For the next part, we are going to figure out what is f minus g of x. So again, we take what our f function here, which is 4 minus x squared, subtract out our g function, which is 3x plus 1. We are going to distribute the negative through. So it's 4 minus x squared minus 3x minus 1 is our final answer. And again, the square root here is going to be the one that takes over for our domain. So our domain is going to stay the same, which is -2, 2. Lastly, we are going to look at f times g, or next, not last, f times g of x. So we are going to do f of x, which is the square root of 4 minus x squared, and we are going to multiply that by 3x minus 1. So now we are going to distribute, so there'll be 3x root 4 minus x squared minus root 4 minus x squared. Again, our domain stays exactly the same. We can't have our a negative number under the square root, so we'll still be -2 to 2. Now, where it gets interesting here, maybe even a little, you could even say a little bit more challenging, is what do we do for division? So we're going to take our f of x function, and we are going to divide it by our g of x function. So on top, f of x is 4 minus x squared. On the bottom, we have 3x plus 1. Our final setup for what is f of x over g of x. Now the domain is a little bit more challenging. On top, we know it has to be from -2 to 2, right? We've talked about that. That's what makes sure that this is going to be a positive number. But we add another layer to this by doing division, and we get that x cannot equal -1/3 because we can't put 0 in our denominator. So we have to put both of these together to get our new domain, which is going to be -2 to -1/3, parentheses, and then union -1/3 to 2. Again, that's just taking both parts. We know that our square root can't be a negative number, and we can't divide by 0. So we start with our -2 to 2 domain, we take out the -1/3 that x can't be, and then that will give us our final answer for our domain. So in the next video you're going to watch, you're going to learn how to compose two functions together.